It's a beautiful evening, Bupe. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, right?
It's good to be back.
But I'm a bit disappointed. I'm a bit disappointed because you know I was trying to help somebody and they were not helpable, if there's such a word. Okay, what do you
That's
say?
interesting. Yeah.
If you want to help somebody and then they are not you can't really give them the help because they are difficult,
Yeah.
right? What do you call such a situation where you want to help somebody who is unhelpable? Katuishinga kwa helpable mutsongo.
We'll take that. We'll work with unhelpable. What do you call? I don't know.
Unhelpable
What
people.
I mean, what was the cause of why they didn't want to be helped? Were they being proud? Were they being stubborn? Are they a perfect example for our topic tonight? What was the situation?
Obviously, it could be. I think it could be with ego,
Yeah.
pride. Yeah. Good evening,
Okay.
everybody. Welcome to tonight's show of Truth and Transformation. We talk about starting small, providing over pride. Like
Season
always, we ask
two.
that.
Wait,
This is
wait,
season
wait.
two,
Season two, episode 5.
episode four.
Oh, episode 4.
Episode four, season two. Fantastic.
Episode 4. Oh, great. Awesome. I always want to do that, but I always
All
forget.
right,
Welcome,
fantastic.
Fred. Good to have you. Please let us know. Give us a sound check. Can you hear us? And are you ready for the evening? Let us know where you are joining us from as well.
That would be amazing. Please share the video, share with your friends. Tinasha, it's always good to have you.
Always.
Please share the video with your friends. Let them know. Let them know that you are here. Let them
Hi,
know
Tina.
that we are getting live. I'm talking about something very fundamental tonight. Something
Yeah.
you're going to enjoy. So
But
please give us
before
your
we get into
feedback.
it, mhm, do we
Yeah, let's
have
get into
feedback?
it, Wope.
Okay. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get into it. So before we start, a brief rundown of what was happening in the week. And I thought because Youth Week, I wanted to hear a little about where your mind was at with the youth in Daba, what you liked about it, what can be done better.
All right. So when it comes to the youth in what has been happening during the week, I think we had the youth in the yes, that I think it was a good move to involve the
Mm,
youths. But I must
mm.
say I wasn't happy about the criteria that were used in selecting
Yeah.
the youths to participate. There were
Mm,
lots of segregation. You could see from just the dressing in that room that a poor youth was not part of that group. So
mm,
we had two teams of youths. There were those youths who were marching on the streets, showcasing part symbols, and then there were those other youths who were there rubbing shoulders with the powers that be.
mm,
So we could tell the disparity in terms of the youths that were invited. But I think it's a good move by the government. I
mm,
liked the move, and I felt that it was necessary for them to do what they did to involve the youth, to talk to the youth. But you can even see from the youths who were giving speeches that no ordinary youth was giving a speech there. It was successful
mm,
people that have real companies making real monies. So a poor youth is not part of the agenda in the youth in the and this is what we keep saying. Even when you see youths being invited to parliament, they don't. There's no transparency process for us used to know the criteria that must be met for to be invited to parliament, to go and
mm,
listen to the budget presentation or to go and see affairs being run. They've not given us what youths should do. Because if there's a criteria, many youths can come on board and say, you know what, I'm going to try this. I want to be in parliament one day and listen to a politician speak. I want to ask questions. But our system is so messed up that even a simple youth in Daba, you have to have connections to be there. It's either you
mm.
are rich or you have connections. Just those two. A common
Yeah.
youth from Shangombo, from Kanyama, was not invited. He was not part of that meeting. All right. So I think
Yeah. So your
those are things
concern,
that.
if I'm hearing you correctly, your concern was representation with the youth in Dawa. You're saying it was a
Yes.
good initiative that it was there, but you felt like the representation wasn't very well done. Is that what I'm
Yeah, I think
hearing
I
you
think
say?
yes. I think people tell us in the comments what to think. All right, that's my opinion. Before we get started, tell us in
Yeah.
the comments. I felt the youth in Daba was a show of the rich kids. It was nothing about the youths. to just a few people selected by their relatives who are politicians brought in into Mulungushi. And then, because the president cannot know everything, Bope. That's the truth. He's a good man who wants to help the youths, but the youths who are being helped are those who don't need the help. The youths who are getting many of contacts are those who have the contacts already. So youths were not really invited, to be honest. What criteria were used? I'd like to challenge the Minister of Youth and Sports to come on board and tell us, okay, we did this. Here's how we selected people to attend. I would like to see that report. You'll be shocked. Right? Because we need to know how they select you so that we can aspire maybe to go and say, okay, one day I want to be part of the team to go and be on the youth Indaba. What criteria do they use to select youths?
But you realize that if you went there, you too would be categorized as a rich youth because you're not exactly representing the poor.
No, what I'm saying it's better if there's a process where youths aspire to be part of that Indaba, right? For example, if there's parliament coming up, they say for youths who want to be part of this, here's how you submit your names. These are the things we must meet for to be selected. Oh, we see notes on Facebook flying around. You've been invited by the Speaker of the House to go and what criteria do you use? And we saw some people, if you post somebody known who's a politician before you know you're in parliament as a youth, because you posted the picture of the vice president or the picture of the Speaker of the House or whatever it is before you know you're being invited. No, we want a rigorous process so that youths can know what they need to do for them to be part of the process. To know if it's going to be an Indaba. Yeah, we need a much more transparent, arrangement, not what we see.
I hear you.
The idea is good. Yeah. The intention is good for the president and the Minister of Youth to invite youth to come together, but the selection is bad. The idea is good. The selection is bad. That's my opinion.
Okay. No, respected and accepted. But what I hear you from what you're saying also with participation in parliament, I think what I can do one of these episodes is talk about public participation, how civil society, how every citizen can participate, for instance, in the parliamentary process, because there's definitely ways that the ordinary citizen can participate. Perhaps that information just hasn't been disseminated properly, but there's definitely ways, and that's certainly something we should talk about, public participation in politics and things like that. But I hear you, but also kudos to the government. Like you have said, it's a step in a good direction. It was a good start. It was good to see those panel discussions happening. I mean, even if it was the rich kids, at least we did see that there was some communication about what some of the needs are. But definitely,
let me just say, I've never said this. If you look at even in our country, everything's even when you look at a good example is the Bank of Zambia Governors Award.
Okay,
that award is messed up. That's my opinion. You can't have the same.
I'm not very familiar.
People.
I've seen people receive it.
You can't have the same people rotating amongst themselves every year. I mean, there are lots of this company. We have is about 50% of this country. We have youths. How can you just have 8 people, for example, rotating amongst themselves? If they have a friend, they connect a friend. Before you know is nominated for an award, they get the awards. We are saying, can we have a much more transparent process to engage youths in how things are done? All right, you have youths who are doing the most are being sidelined because they don't know anybody at the Bank of Zambia. So just have youths who are there. Whenever something is happening, this is why we don't want to grow, because of the same people benefiting. We are not bringing all the people, all the youths are being sidelined. That's my opinion again, because I've seen even just the way awards are done in this country. This messed up. People are even just simple music awards, simple Diamond Awards. See how they are done. You can just be disappointed. The same people.
Because I'm not familiar, but I'll definitely follow now that you mentioned. I'll definitely follow to see, for instance, who is receiving these awards and how it's done.
I say this because I'm an analyst. I analyze stuff. So I see how things are done and see year after year, the same people, personality award, the same thing. Bank of Zambia award, the same people being nominated. Whatever award, the same people every time. What is wrong with the youth in this country? Does that mean we don't have more youth who participate in these things, or they have no interest? What is it? What happens?
Yeah, I'll definitely pay a close eye to that as well. Okay, let's get right into it. So tonight we are talking providing over pride, starting small. And very interesting what happened on your page this week, Shadrach. I observed that you had shared that you would be employing someone to work at a pharmacy, and you had put up a 7,000 kwacha offer, and very interesting comments that we had coming in the comment section, and people talking it's too low, and others talking, this is a good opportunity. So that's sort of where I would like to begin. Tell me, as I believe this is the first time you've advertised something like that
Yes.
formally. Tell me, walk me through that experience. What was the process leading up to that? How did we come to we want to employ a pharmacist
So
and
what's happened
starting
that
small?
my colleague and I decided to employ a pharmacist. And when you are starting Wupe, you can't go and pay a huge amount. All right. And we did a bit of research, to be honest. We know how much people, the backlash that we received from some of the people, we were shocked because I'm an accountant. Wupe. People were forgetting that I see pay slips. I know the average salaries in this country for civil servants. I know, everybody knows. It's there on Zamstats. Anybody can go and check. But what we saw yesterday was a show of pride. We are, youths that are trying to make a difference. And we offered 7,000 as a starting salary. And apart from that, we just didn't put it there. We had made an arrangement that the person we're going to give this job, after 3 months, we'll give them a house, fully furnished house, we're all secured in a whole fence. They won't pay rent, Wupe. After 3 months. That's the arrangement. All right. And there's a way of helping one another, because when you are getting started, you don't know how much you're going to make in the first month. You're just starting. So it's like, fine. As we are starting, let's hire somebody and give them 7,000 kwacha starting salary. This is why we even put the price. We didn't want to waste people's time to start with. We said, okay, fine. My colleague and I said, you know what, let's put a price that we are willing to offer so that those who are interested in the pharmacy job can come and apply. All right. So what did you do? We put up the offer with my colleague, and then some people are applying. Some people are commenting very well. Some people are calling us names. Some people are saying, there's a comment that pissed me off. All right. That there's a comment that pissed me off. One of them said 7,000 is an insult. So one of them told us 7,000 is an insult. So I was offended by that, okay? Because imagine we are youths that are trying to create employment, and then we offer somebody 7,000 kwacha, and someone comments and says, that's an insult. Do you know what 7,000 can do for somebody who's not in employment? Let's face it, it's not every pharmacist in this country who is employed. There are lots of unemployed people in this country. Yeah. And there are hundreds of people who would be happy to get 7,000 kwacha. Not that that's what they are worth or that's what they deserve, but because of the difference it can make in their lives. As people were starting up businesses, we didn't want to lie to people and say, we're going to pay you 10,000, or we're going to pay you 14,000. We didn't want to lie. We put up a poster containing what we can afford as at now, as people are starting. We didn't want to waste people's time. So we put up a 7,000, and we have an option to review. And this 7,000 will be, after 3 months, we said, we are going to give a house to the pharmacist so that they should not be able to pay rent. There's a house fully furnished, on that there's a tenant. So what we said, let's give a notice to the tenant, so that by the 3 months probation is going to elapse, the tenant can leave this house, so that the pharmacist we are going to give the job can move in the house, so they stop paying rent. You understand? So when we made that offer, we made the offer in good faith, as people were trying to make a difference, hoping that there could be somebody out there who may not be in employment, who would appreciate our little effort to make a difference in the community and offer a job for a 7,000. All right. And then somebody comments, some people even called me. People from pharmaceutical unions calling me, Wupe, telling me that, you know what, in this a pharmacist gets 10,000 minimum, 7,000 pay to go for work 3 times a week. So somebody from pharmaceutical unions, something like that, they told me.
Okay.
And a lot of people called me, telling me, but the salary is small. I can join if you allow me to work for 3 hours a week. So now, when I was receiving these calls, I humbled myself and I said, okay, fine, go, okay, good, nice to hear. But one thing these people forgot was that I am a chartered accountant. I see payslips. I know the civil servants' payslips, and I know the entry points in government. I know. And the statistics are there on Zamstats. Go and check out for the salaries of people. And right now, I'm going to share with you an average salary for a pharmacist. All right. I have a screenshot I'd like to share so that you can just see. It depends on the company where you work. In some companies, you get better. In some companies, you don't. But where somebody gives an offer for 7,000 kwacha, and then they give you an option to increase, and then they are providing for you a house after 3 months, fully furnished, self-contained, in your offense secured, then you say that's an insult. That's ungratefulness, I think. And that's discouraging young people like ourselves to do good for community. You can't expect me, a trader, to pay you 20,000 because I'm also starting my business. You understand? So instead of people thinking straight, they bring pride, all right, and say, I make 14,000 every week. Which pharmacist in Zambia in government makes 14,000 every week? In government, in this country. Where? It's not in this country. That's a lie. We know people want to protect the integrity of their profession. They say, for example, I'm a chartered accountant. Do you know how much money a chartered accountants get in some companies? My friend gets 101 per month, 101,000. A chartered accountant. Same qualification as me. I have another friend who gets 45,000. Same qualification. And I have another friend who gets 9,000. Same qualification. Have you seen? Why? It depends on where you are employed and the experience that you have. You understand? So there are some people who are very experienced. They're employed in companies where they get less money. And there are people who are less experienced. They're employed in companies where they get more money. Like my friend, he gets 101. He's a group accountant for some company. Same qualification as all other my friends, just like me. He gets 101. And I have another friend who gets 45. And I have another friend who gets 9,000. We have the same qualification. But why do we get different amounts of monies? It's because of what we are going to get from that money. This guy who gets 9,000 tells me, you know what, Shadrick, I can't wait for a 100,000 job. I have a family to feed. I need to pay rent. So why should I say I am worth 101,000? Just because someone pays you 9,000 does not mean you are worth 9,000. It means sometimes what they are able to offer as a business.
Okay. So before we get to the worth part, which is something that we're going to come to in your own words, without really getting into the technical aspect of the word itself, pride. We use it loosely, right? Like it's unhealthy pomp or something. But what would you say are the dangers of pride in the context of this situation that we have talked about?
Pride is a danger, Wope, partly because pride gives you a blurred vision. Pride prevents you from seeing the big picture. For example, a friend of mine who's a chartered accountant, okay, he gets about 9,000 where he works. Like I have three, one 101, one gets 45, one gets 9. Same qualification. But this guy who gets 9 is also a qualified chartered accountant. Why does he get 9? Because he knows he's a family man. For now, he has found the job to pay him 101. All right? So what does he do? He gets the 9,000 so that he can go and feed his family. But if you put pride says, you know what? I'm a chartered accountant. I can't accept 15,000 kwacha. I can't. You understand? Because I'm at the master's degree level. Why should I get 15,000? You refuse the money. All right? That prevents you from progressing because sometimes when you start small, you're going to get experience. No experience is useless. You get some experience. And when you're in employment, it is easier to get a job because you're already working. People want experience. So how do you get the experience? Get even a lesser paying job to get the experience so that it can give you a chance to get bigger opportunities. So pride is showing that you have value. Self-esteem is knowing that you have value. You understand? When you know that you have value, it is self-esteem. I have value. I know just because someone pays me 100 kwacha does not mean I have no value. No, I have value. Pride is showing that you have value. Self-esteem is knowing that you have. Now, once you begin to show that you have value, it will make you refuse opportunities that can change your life. Say, no, I have a degree. I can't get a 5,000. But 5,000 is better than 0,000. Have you
Yeah.
seen?
Yeah.
So,
Just a
and
quick story
interesting,
while
Lupe,
you're on that. Yeah.
if I showed you the message I received, we have, as yesterday, we received 126 applications yesterday. Today in the morning when I woke up, I found we are at 142 application letters from qualified pharmacists. And interestingly enough, some of those who shouted at us applied. Yes, some of those who were shouting on social media saying they make 14,000 a week. They applied
Yeah.
for the job. One of them actually even apologized to me, telling me, you know what, I'm sorry for what I commented, but honestly, I'm just frustrated. I've not been employed since I graduated. And I said, get lost. Because I felt that instead of showing some gratitude, say, okay, fine, how do we work with our friend who has a 7,000 on the table? All right. Some people are insulting. And I received calls. There's a lady I'll never forget. And I saved the number. Her name is Eunice Shabula. Okay. She calls me and she tells me, you know what? That's a good amount of money. She's educated, Bupe. She tells me, you know what? If you come across an opportunity for a farm technologist, please let me know. Don't pay attention to people who are talking what they are saying, because the 7,000 can make a huge difference. So I saved the number and I said, if we have a chance to look for somebody, I'm gonna call this lady first. If I hear a friend of mine looking for someone to employ, I saved the number. Her name is Eunice Shabula. I saved the name and I'm telling my friend that this lady with a very good attitude, please give her a job. All right. Why? Because she showed that, you know what, she understands the value of providing. So she put providing over pride. She knows her worth. Just because you get paid 7,000 doesn't mean you're not worth. You don't have value. No, you have the value, but you know what it can do for you. I have acquired a number of qualifications with myself. Okay. It's not that I want people to know.
Yes.
But when I look at the kind of education I have, some of the jobs I do, some people who have pride can't do. I do jobs sometimes that I get 200 kwacha, sometimes 100 kwacha. Because I understand if I get 100 kwacha from this side and 50 from that side, 150 from that side, I put together, at the end of the day, I'm going to have a good amount. Every coin counts. All right. So when we put the 7,000 aside, we say, those who are interested, can you please apply? It's what we can offer. We didn't want to waste people's time. That's why we told people what we can offer for now, because that's when we are starting. But some people, they came to show us that they have some value. How many pharmacists in this country? I have friends who are pharmacists. I see payslips from the government, payslips. I have friends who work there. Who gets 28,000 in Zambia in government? A pharmacist who has just been employed today who is getting 28,000 kwacha today in government. Who? Which payslip? Show me the payslip. So instead of humbling themselves, some of the people, if you know the 7,000 is small for you, just leave. Let somebody who's unemployed take it up, and maybe they can pay rent with it. We're not forcing you to accept our offer. Have you seen? But don't insult me because I'm trying to help somebody get a 7,000. That's a lot of money, to be honest, for a start. And the house, fully furnished, secured in offense. You're not paying rent after 3 months. And then you're saying, blah, blah, blah. And today, if you see my WhatsApp, you'll be shocked. I have over 200 messages on my WhatsApp. I've not even opened some of them yet because I got tired of responding to CVs for people. So some people were insulting us, but they are applying in the background.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for that explanation. And I was just thinking how even when I think we've had this discussion before on this platform, how immediately I passed the bar around the time, because I first graduated for my master's or the bar or whichever, but by the time I was starting my first job, I had both my master's and the bar certificate. But the first job I took on was volunteering, and I think I volunteered for like 6 months. And then even after that, the first job I took, I think paid me 6,000 kwacha. So it goes to show how if I had decided to hold on to the fact that I am so qualified, I would never have had the opportunity to grow. So I agree with you that pride is a very dangerous thing, and that when it's not nurtured properly, it can affect growth. It can be a very dangerous thing. There's something I heard at the beginning of the year. It must have been by Pastor Gladys Paswani. She said, small does not necessarily mean insignificant. I'll say that again. Small does not necessarily mean insignificant, right? So when you look at a 7,000 kwacha salary, and maybe you say, oh, you know what? When I look at, for instance, what you call that? The JCTR food basket, it doesn't meet my needs, or it just meets my basic needs. It doesn't mean that it is not insignificant. If you take 7,000, you know that it will buy your food, you know that it will give you an opportunity of somewhere to start. So I just wanted you to talk me through the power of small beginnings. What is the power of small beginnings? Moving away from the 7,000 kwacha conversation now, why is it important to start small if you can't afford to start big?
Wupe, there's so much power in small beginnings.
Yeah.
I am a living testimony of small beginnings. Wupe, I was pushing a wheelbarrow myself.
Yeah. Mm.
That's a very
Tell us
stressful
that
job.
story, please.
I was pushing a wheelbarrow. I would wake up in the morning at 3 hours, because that's when trucks come with bags of sweet potatoes. Farmers they get on those trucks in the night. So 03, I'll be with a wheelbarrow at the station, offloading. People are floating on the trucks, and then I'm packing. Getting from the station to the depots. In the morning, I go and buy my bales of Saraula. I open at 8:30. I go to school. All right. 12:30, I knock off. I come back to my stand in City Market. I would barely sleep. All right. I had a lady from Kabwata. Her name was Cassie. I already knew her as Cassie. She was paying me 75 kwacha per hour to go and lecture with financial reporting at a time. So I would even follow her in Kabwata. I go to her house. Then she would take me to some church in Kabwata. I wish I could meet that lady. I've been trying to look for a number in my phone just to appreciate her for the business she would give me. It made a difference. I started so small, pushing a wheelbarrow, setting Salaula, because I knew I did not think that just because I pushed a wheelbarrow, I had no value. I knew I had value. I knew I was doing something with my life. I knew I was going to school. But also I was working hard, so that I should provide for myself. I should pay rentals for myself, right? What happened? I got a job to speak at an event. The first time I was given about 3,500 kwacha. I accepted, all right? The next time I was able to speak at an event, I was paid almost 4 or 5 times that. But it started with some small amount. So when you start small, you learn. When you start small, you acquire some experience that's going to help you in the future. No experience is useless. Whatever experience you acquire, no matter how small it may be, one day you appreciate it, you thank it. It's what in a job they say they look for experience. So when you don't know how to start small, it will be difficult to start big, because even if you are a qualified chartered accountant, you can't just come in my company and we pay you 101,000. No. What experience do you have? What have you achieved? What other qualifications have you topped up on your masters that support the job that you're going to hire you for? Because there are 100 people who have master's degrees just like you. Why should it be? Why should we give you the job? All right. So starting small makes a difference. It shows that you're willing to grow. And when you start from the grassroots, you're going to learn things that other people will never know. All right. People that start from the grassroots, they know the business inside out, because they grow from the scratch to the very top. Like I was telling you, Upe, I was doing these domestic jobs. I push a wheelbarrow. I've been selling Salaula. I've been, I was even doing laundry when Emasdale. I was doing laundry for some lady in Emasdale. I was doing laundry, and my family members don't know that. No one knows that. I would go to Emasdale, and somewhere there near Buseko, I was doing laundry. The whole weekend I'm washing clothes for some ladies there. All right. And I was getting paid 50 kwacha sometimes, 100 kwacha, just like that. No one knew in my family that I was doing laundry. I would just leave home and I go and I do laundry. I come back with 150. No one knew where it came from. Right. So there's power in starting small. I have a good attitude towards work. My father had a restaurant. Before my father died, my brother and I could go to Dad's restaurant to go and sell, to deal with people directly. So we dropped a good attitude towards work at a very young age with my elder brother. All right. So lots of people, what puts them down is pride. They say, I have a degree, I can't get 5,000. But you have zero kwacha. Small money is better than no money. You have a degree, you are refusing because you have a degree. So what if you have a degree which is not working at home? Can you get a 5,000 kwacha? Use it for something meaningful. Maybe buy a trousers for yourself. Maybe buy a bag of menu for yourself. All right. There are lots of people who have degrees in this country who would be happy to be given 5,000 kwacha today because they are tired of being kept. But you're commenting and say, I make 14,000 kwacha every 2 weeks or every week. You are discouraging people who need the help. Have you seen? So when you start small, it's okay. Then when starting small does not mean you end there. Like you said, small is not the same as insignificant. No, small may grow. The owner of Facebook started small in his house. His friends laughed at him. Today, this guy owns billions and billions of dollars. Go and look at youths like Mwalamoto, who started small. Today, this guy sits on assets over 20 million kwacha on his balance sheet. Look at young people like that Imak young man who started with his friends. Today is everywhere. You go to East Pakmore. I was at East Pakmore today. I saw Imak. There's a branch at East Pakmore. So all these people started small. Look at Dumisan, who was going by bus to Botswana to go and buy those motorbikes and come back to the motorbike, cycling on his own, riding a bike on his own. Look at where he is today. Today he owns DON. All right. All these bank cards we use, his company does that. How did he start? He started small. All right. He had a good attitude towards work. So if you don't know how to start small, you're gonna struggle to grow. Do not appreciate the value of hard work. So when you are struggling, be honest. Don't be proud for nothing. All of us have degrees, people. Even those who are insulting me yesterday, I'm more qualified than you, some of you. You know how many degrees I have as of today. But you are a pharmacist. And then you are insulting me because I offered 7,000 kwacha. I'm even more educated than you. Just to be honest, Wupe. I hold more degrees than some of you are insulting me for offering 7,000 kwacha. And I was offended. You know, I was upset. And even now I feel bad because we didn't want to waste.
Tell. And I'm really sorry on their behalf, and I truly am sorry about that.
Because I felt that people should learn to appreciate little efforts from entrepreneurs who are trying to make a difference. We are all educated, and I know a lot of humble people like Eunice Shabula, who is very humble. She's educated. She called me. She told me, "What, this money is okay for a start. Things can change." I had this gentleman who sent me a nice message. He told me, "You know what? People should learn to celebrate people creating employment. Yes, we know the salary is small. People may not appreciate it that much, but it's good you've said you're going to review. All right. So when you see a job, people, that's my advice to you. If you see a job, say someone says, I'm paying you 7,000. If you know it's not for you, just pass. Don't insult me. Somebody was telling me new qualification about so somebody sent a message like that to me. What wrong have I done? I won't advertise for a job, say we are offering 7,000. Then you text me saying me, we should new qualification about so. Have you seen
that? Yeah, so, and that's very interesting that you say that.
With me offering you a job.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that, because it leads me right into my next question, which is the mindset question, right? So a lot of people are educated, and I don't know, did you have a chance to look at I'm not sure if it's the last post. No, it wasn't the last post, but Munyumba, on the Munyumba Mtwale page, he had shared some statistics today. I don't know if you had a chance to look at that.
Yeah, I have looked at it, and it's a very nice statistics. Munyumba shares something very, very useful, and I'm happy that you've brought it up. I looked at it, Wupe. And here's what Munyumba is saying. The statistics show that 7 out of every 10 Zambian young people between the age of 20 and 35 are out of the workforce. They're not working.
Say that again. Sorry, just say that. Mhm.
7 out of every 10 Zambians today, all right,
Mm.
between the age of 20 and 35 are out of
Mhm.
employment. They have no job. Now,
Mhm.
they're not working for someone, they're not working for themselves, they're
Mhm.
not running any business. 7 out of 10 Zambians between the age of 20 and 35 have no jobs. They're not working for anybody. They're not working for themselves. They're not doing any business.
Mm.
All right. And not because they are in school. No, they're not even in school. And I liked how Mnyomba put it. And this says, he says that they are not in college because the combined tertiary population is less than 3% of that population group. In Zambia, the combined tertiary population of people in colleges between the age of 20 and 35 is below 3%. So we have a huge number of people who are out of employment. And this information is available on the World Bank. Go and check from the World Bank. This data is there. So if you have such
Yeah,
a
I mean,
huge
I wish.
unemployment rate
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
country, and then there's a
Mhm.
youth, used to have come on board and they say, guys, we are starting a business. We're offering a 7,000. Why should we insult their parents?
Yeah. So what I wanted to talk about quickly was for us to get into the mindset of it,
Yes.
right? So recently, and I was even saying, I'd like to. I'm wondering what the statistics are around the education in this country, right? Because lately I have seen a lot of universities that have mushroomed, a lot of graduate. I feel like I see 4 graduations in a year, four or
Yeah.
five graduations in a year. So we have a lot of educated people, and it's a pity that we didn't have a chance to share those statistics the way he did them. And if you'd like to see these, in fact, please go and look at this post, because Munyumba has done the tabulation and is showing you how in the last 11 years, I think it's from 2012 to now, how the level of employment, whether formal or informal, is just going down. The youths are discouraged. So my question is, first of all, not to you, Shadrach, but I was just thinking, like, our education system is not preparing us, for instance, for entrepreneurship, right? So if you are
Yes.
churning out so many educated people, why are the numbers of even informal employment going down? And if it was staying the same, that's different. But what's
Yes.
concerning to me is just that it keeps going lower and lower and lower. And the way he tabulated them, what was interesting to me is it spoke even to emotions. We have youth
Yes.
that are discouraged, right? So you would think
Yes.
when someone goes to school, they would be encouraged because now they have hope. I can have a job, I can start a business, I can negotiate. But we are seeing youths who are not, they're not keen on personal development, right? To
Yes.
improve themselves. So we're seeing people who are satisfied just going to school, getting a paper, and sitting and waiting for someone else to employ them, right? So we're not having youths who are learning negotiation skills. Were you ever taught negotiation in school? I wasn't taught negotiation
No.
in school. I had to learn that from
My
books,
dad had to
right?
teach me how to negotiate in his restaurant. No one taught me in
Yeah.
school how to negotiate.
Exactly, and that's my point, right? So, for instance, in this situation, someone who has been working towards their personal development, right? They can come to you privately, right, and say, I've seen this job opportunity, right? But I feel like the salary is low. Can I negotiate down my hours? Instead of me working
Yes.
8 to 5, can I work 9
Yes.
to 15 hours? And can I come in 3 times a week? So that's something you're not going to be taught in school, but that's something you can learn on your own. So I thought that was a bit
Yes.
sad, but even just the emotions of it, thank you so much for doing that, Shadrach. I really, really I'm really glad that you have done that. Yeah, shown that. So these are the statistics which are very disheartening for me. And you can even tell from 2020, that's what 2012, it's going down.
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the discouragement bar is going higher. The more educated people are, the unhappier they are. And it goes back to, again, what we talk about. It is like personal development. So the
Yes.
education system has done what they can do as far as they know and as far as their own developmental stage has gone. But the question is,
Yeah.
what can we do? How can young people inculcate the right responses to situations like this, Shadrach? Like, how can we build a mindset that is growth oriented? that doesn't just come to social media and bash. And what is amusing to me is, how is it that people always have talk time to be on social media and say they are broke? It's I have so many questions about our system, but
Yeah.
the question, is like, how can someone build a growth mindset to respond to issues like this in a mature way, in a way that they can grow?
Upe, I'm happy you've asked that question. Today, I was scrolling through the Zika group, and I saw a qualified chartered accountant has put a post and said, I just want to tear these papers down.
Oh.
He put his certificate with his names, okay? And I got a screenshot. It was today. I saw that today. And I hope I'll be able to find it. I'm going to share this screenshot soon with you so that you can be able to see what I'm talking about. A
But
fully
isn't it
qualified.
personal? Will you share it with permission?
No, he put it on the group. Everyone is able to see. The whole country can see. The world can see. So it's not private.
Okay.
The gentleman put these qualifications on the group, all right? And he said, sometimes when I look at these documents, I just want to tear them down. Okay, that's what the gentleman said. And I have of course I have a picture. All right. Of course I have let me do this. Let me show this one back. Let me send it back. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
but
going to
please,
send
everyone,
this.
go and have a look at these statistics. Very, very important to speaking to
So
personal
you can see
development.
from the levels of unemployment, Wupe, even from this statistics, people are discouraged. 7 out of every 10 Zambians have no job. And look at the gap from 2012. The level of
It's going
discouragement is
down.
growing. From 2012 to 2023 today, people have been discouraged. People don't even want to go to school anymore because they can't get jobs. All right. People have been, and because people are discouraged, people have rotated to drinking. Some of them have gone to criminalities. Some of them have just become bitter. People are bitter because they are broke. So when people are discouraged, they want to vent at literally anybody they see because they are discouraged. Like I told you, some people were insulting me yesterday. Actually applied for the job.
Yeah.
They applied. One of them even apologized and told me, no, sorry for the way I commented. I've never been employed for the past 3 years from the time I graduated. He's a qualified licensed pharmacist. But he insulted me on Facebook's comment, but in inbox, he sent me a message. I have my message here, Bupe. He tells me, sorry for the way I commented, just that I've not been employed for the past 3 years. But I said, you insulted me for offering a 7,000. Now in private, you are telling me you want a job. How can I employ you?
Yeah, because again, and that's what I'm saying, friend, because look, you can't come in the public eye and insult, right? It's already showing personal development again. You're already showing me your character in public. And it's not even beyond the insult to you as a person, right? Just even to anyone else who would be looking for a pharmacist in the future. When they come to your Facebook page and they found that person insulted, then they go and find your CV at the office. It will speak to character. And people overrate the power of a paper over the actual education that it gives you. So if you're not growing in your character, how are you going to be employed to perform? So even beyond just an attack at you as a person, it speaks to character as a human being. Do you have the kind of attitude of an individual I would like to work with? So what does it mean if the company suddenly goes into financial crisis and I can't pay you? Are you the kind of person who is going to insult me left, right, and center? Or are you a committed employee, right? Like, people underestimate the power of the little things they do, for instance, on social media and how it affects them in the long run. So it's just shocking to me that, people still think that it's okay. And it's an underestimation of the power. It's an overestimation of the power of a paper, and underestimation of one's own personal development and the effect it has on their lives.
So the growth mindset is what? Yes, Wupe.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
It's very important. Yeah. So just quickly though, if you earn 7,000 kwacha today, Shadrach, let me take you back into the mind frame of where you used to be, right? If you earn 7,000 kwacha today, how would you manage yourself to improve your life?
7,000 kwacha is a lot of money, because a lot of houses in Lusaka, you can find a nice house for 2,000, even 1.5. You can find a house for 2,000, and then you can buy food. You can buy shoes for yourself. You can buy talk time for yourself. You can get a phone for yourself. It's 7,000. Nurses, it's only recent that they've been upgraded. For a very long time, these people are getting 4,000 and this squash, and these people have children. They have wives and husbands. Not that we are saying it's okay, but we are saying in the past there was a time civil servants were getting 4.9, and there was a time the entry was 3.5. And these are people who have educated people who have sent children to school. They were getting 3.5. Why? Because they knew they knew the power of they put providing over pride. They were able to provide for some of the stubborn kids who are insulting today. Their parents were getting 3.5 to send them to school. Their own parents are in a lot of debt because of the love they have for their children. They sent them to school 3.5 salary. Their parents were paying school fees for their children. They get 4.5 and 5,000, and they've sacrificed. They don't even look like they're in employment. Their parents look scruffy. They have no clothing. They have no shoes because they are sacrificing for the well-being of their children. They have a good attitude towards work. They know the power of providing. So they say providing over pride. But the children they are sending to schools don't understand the power of a coin. They insult. They say, I have a degree. So what if you have a degree? You're not in employment. You are jobless. You are broke. Do you know what 7,000 can do for you today? It can send you to school to upgrade yourself. It can make you pay rent and help your parents. It can help you pay for your medical bills. It can help you eat what you want to eat. It can help you buy a shoe for yourself, buy a laptop or a phone, or it can help you have some savings for yourself. That's a good amount of money for somebody who's a good. We are not saying accept. What we are saying, like we said earlier, we said we're not forcing people. This is what we are offering as we are starting. We're not forcing anybody. And the 142 who are pride, we didn't force them. We said, if you are interested, let us know. And 142 people was a good way to they applied. And I was very grateful. I said, thank you so much for all those who applied. It was able to show me that while some people were insulting us, some were applying. And that's a good thing. We have to commend those who applied because they know the value of 7,000 in this economy. 7 out of 10 youths in Zambia between 20 and 25 are not employed. They have no business. They are broke. All right? They are not in school. So a 7,000 kwacha can change lives. There are parents who are getting 5,000 and they are sending children to school right now in this country. So I feel we should have the growth mindset to know that, just because things are hard doesn't mean they'll stay the same. All right? Things change if you work towards. Like I was saying, I'm a perfect example of a person who has simply grown through working hard. I was pushing a wheelbarrow. There was no odd. Actually, one of my relatives when I was going to school told me this. This is what she told me. She told me, why do you want to go and spend so much money paying for this course when you're already suffering? Why can't you start a business to help your mom? Or to just help yourself? I said, business is good, but I need education to back me up. All right. My own relative discouraged me to go to school. She told me, don't go to school. You're going to waste money. You are suffering. Who is going to be paying school fees for you? She told me that. My own relative told me that. But I said, what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try it. I've prayed over it. I've planned it, and God will see me through. So I knew things would change at some point. All right. I knew things would change at some point. So just because you are broke does not mean things will not change. Things will change if you begin to do something about it. Get a job that can pay you something. Begin to work, make connections, grow yourself. You're going to get there someday. Don't be frustrated. Don't be bitter. Once you are bitter, you become stuck in your mind. Once you are stuck at hate, you will never grow. So people, no matter how broke you are, life changes. I never knew I can go and buy a car cash without a loan. It never clicked on my mind, but to be honest, it wasn't. My thinking was about having a bicycle to go for work because I was working from Kanyama to Makeni on foot, 2 hours every day going for work. I would wake up at 5 to report at 7:30 at work. 2 hours. I'm walking. I would walk from Makeni Simonson Wupe to go to Long Acres on foot every day for 30 days. From Makeni Simonson to Long Acres, 3 hours I'm walking. Every day, Wupe.
Yeah.
Starting small, there's power in starting small. Lots of big people today started small. They had a positive attitude, knowing someday things will change. And there's a scripture I always read in the Bible. Let me read it again, Wupe, maybe to help somebody who is watching us. It's one of
Please.
my favorite scriptures. There are two favorite scriptures I
Is it
have.
that in Ecclesiastes that I'm always asking?
Yes.
Like, remind me that.
I have
Yeah.
two favorite scriptures, Wupe, for somebody who is stressed, somebody who is broke, somebody who does not know what to do. Let me read for two scriptures. And maybe they will help you, right? Because people are discouraged, you know. This scripture may be able to help. It's in Ecclesiastes, all right? The first one is Ecclesiastes. So let's go to Ecclesiastes. Let me read the scripture for you. Maybe it can help somebody just to see that things change if you do something about it. And this is what God is assuring us. Okay? This scripture is in Ecclesiastes. Okay.
I remember that one. Yeah, you like it, yeah.
Yeah, it's Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verses 5 and 6. Here's what it says. It says this, book. It says, just as you do not know how the spirit operates in the bones of the child inside a pregnant woman, so you do not know the work of the true God who does all things. All right? That's the scripture, Wupe. Okay? Here's what it says. Let me repeat that. It says, just as you do not know how the spirit operates in the bones of the child inside a pregnant woman, so you do not know the work of the true God who does all things. Sow your seed in the morning, and do not let your hand rest until the evening, for you do not know which will have success, either this, all right, or that, or whether they will both do well. See verse 6. Sow your seed in the morning, and don't let your hand rest until the evening. For you do not know which one will have success, whether this one or that one, or whether they will both do well. So ours is to give God something to bless. No matter how bad your situation is, do something about it. God will see you through. Because it says, the same way you do not know how bones develop in the womb of a pregnant woman, so you do not know the works of God who does all things. Sow your seed, meaning keep working. It's not going to give tithe to the pastor, say, here, put in the envelope, pray for me. No. Keep working, try things out. You do not know which one will work. It's either this one will work or that one, or both will do well. And some of the works you are doing now will not pay now. They are going to pay in the future. But yours is not to be discouraged. Look at the levels of discouragement. Look at that. We have a huge percentage of people in this country who are discouraged. Look at the statistics. People are discouraged. People are sad. So don't be discouraged. Actually, the Bible in Lamentations 3:27 says this. Wupe. Very nice scripture. Here's what it says. It says something that I've lived with for years. Okay? It says this. 3:27 says, it says, good it is for a man to carry the yoke during his youth. That's the Bible. It says, good it is for a man to carry the yoke. Now, if you know, a yoke is like slavery. Usually, I was in the village. When going to farm, would put the yokes in those bulls that farm when you're going to farm. A yoke is a burden. Okay? So the Bible says, good it is for you to carry the burden during your youth. So God knows that it's not okay for us to suffer when we are old. It's better to carry that yoke when you are a youth, so that when you are old, you become comfortable. So now that you are a youth, do something to better your life. Stop insulting people on social media. Try and see areas where you can improve your life. Do something about your life that can change your life. Carry the yoke now when you are young. You know, it's not okay to suffer when you are young. You are suffering.
Then you suffer again when you are old.
Then you grow old, you're still suffering. It's not okay. All right, you have to choose your portion. When do you want to suffer, now or in the future? All right.
Yeah.
Carry the yoke.
And if you do it wisely now, it's only for a season. You may not have to suffer that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important to carry the yoke during your youth. So this is God's Bible principles, Bupe, telling us that carry the yoke in your youth, so that when you grow old, You become comfortable. This is disheartening. I love what Mnyumba has done. This is so disheartening, Whoopi. It's so
Yeah.
sad to see the levels of discouragements. People are discouraged. People are sad. People are
Yeah.
depressed, if not stressed. And then
Yeah.
a guy offers you 7,000. You insult his dad. Some people insulted my late father. All right, that's how bad people are in this country. To offering them a job and then they insult my late father. For what? Because you are broke, it's not my problem. But I know there's somebody who's going to come and say, "What? I'm going to appreciate this job." And we have 142 people who applied for that job. More than we needed. We just wanted 10 people to apply, but we had 142 to choose from. So there are lots of youths who have a good attitude towards work in this country.
Yeah.
All the others who are insulting, the others who are appreciating.
True.
That's what was encouraging about this whole thing.
Yeah. But something I'll be taking away tonight from what you said was give God something to bless. Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's powerful. I'll be carrying that on tonight. So I just want to thank you, Shadrach, for making time to have this conversation tonight. Thank you for sharing. I apologize profusely on behalf of those people who spoke ill. We can show compassion, I guess, in that sometimes people don't know better. Some people have what we call means goals, right? So they went to school because they believed that their paper would be what would take them out of poverty. And so they're dealing with their own frustration, and sometimes they end up hurting us. But we can show them compassion in that they don't know. We hope that through conversations like this, they would know better and act better. And also realizing that what they're doing is beyond you and me and this page. A lot of institutions now are coming to social media, and you know how when you just when you just search out a name on Facebook, where you are commenting, where you are posting will all show up and your character will be revealed. But I really like what you said tonight about give God something to bless. Don't just sit. And even 7,000 kwacha is money. It's a stepping stone. It's a starting point for gaining experience. It's a starting point for you to provide for yourself. Be honest about where you are at. Take, like you said, there's houses for 2,000 kwacha. We found a house for 1,500 kwacha where we lived for a year or two. In that first year, when we couldn't afford to move to a better apartment at the time. So you are so right. It's about planning, even in the small. What can I put aside? How can I increase my value? What small business can I do? That time when we earned little, I sold synthetic hair, synthetic wigs, and people bought, and we increased our income like that. So, you know, there's no excuse. And I guess on their behalf, I'm truly sorry. It's not a nice thing. Social media, it demands a tough skin, and it's not always easy seeing the things that they say. And I'm truly proud of you and your colleague for making your contribution to the situation in Zambia. As we can see, the employment rates are really bad and they are only going down. We have seen that the kwacha is not doing well. So even if the government seems to be trying, the situation is still quite dire, and we appreciate youths who are going above and beyond, whether it's through personal development or what you're doing in providing employment. And we will definitely remember to give God something to bless. Do you have any last words for us tonight, Shadrach, before we go?
So I think I just want to say thank you so much to those who have positive mindsets. I want to tell you there are many youths who've suffered. Whatever you're going through, no, somebody's going through that already. I slept on a market. I pushed a wheelbarrow. I washed clothes for girls. Do you know how embarrassing that is? You were young.
Why
I don't think I'm an ugly guy. I think I'm a pretty good-looking young man, and I was doing laundry for girls. That's embarrassing. You understand? But it has got to go with the attitude towards work and money, earning an honest living. If there's something I can tell somebody this evening as we go, Whoopi, is that small, clean money is better than no money. Always remember that. Small money is better than no money.
Insignificant because it builds on each other.
Yeah. Small money is always better than no money.
No
Always
money.
remember those are my concluding remarks. Will be small money is always better than no money. Always.
Thank you so much. This has been good. Did we have any questions or just comments? I saw you beamed them already. I guess you can say good night. This has
Yeah,
been good.
we can say yeah, we have some good comments. There's one comment I liked. There are several comments, but maybe we can just read a few, maybe two or
Okay.
three. There's this one from Inambao. Inambao says, maybe we can do the reading of the comment.
Okay, so Farid Inambao says, very true, Mr. Shadrach. We as the youth really need to learn and understand that starting small is not a sign of weakness, but rather a wise strategy to gain the experience and self-awareness needed to stand strong in the face of future challenges, embrace the journey of self-discovery, and each small step forward, you will uncover your true potential and the limitless possibilities that lie ahead. Powerful. Really love that.
Fantastic. Powerful. Okay, that's powerful. Yeah, that's very powerful.
Derek says the Zambian education should be more entrepreneurship oriented so as to change the people's mindsets of getting employed after graduation. I agree. I think there needs to be an update to that. You've
Yes.
seen that entrepreneurship course that they do. It's so backward, it doesn't prepare people for business as it
Yeah.
is now,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Thank you for that, Derek.
Indeed. So guys, we wish we could read more comments, but unfortunately we are unable to do that because we have run out of time. But thank you so much for your valuable participation. We are always grateful. Charles, good to see you. Thank you very much, people. Lita, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you very much, people, for joining us through, and we are grateful. Any shouts out, Swoopy? I've seen you've been told that you look bright. Okay.
Oh, I
You've
thank
been
you.
told that
I
Madam
mentioned that.
Wope, you look bright, which I agree.
Thank you.
So you mean I look dark?
It's not a comparison, friend.
Yeah. Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay,
So
thank you so much. So until next week, this has been good, and I hope you
yeah.
you cool your heart and forgive people, or just understanding that they are
Yeah, no,
coming from a
oh, no, we
different.
are good. Wupe, we are good. We know people.
Yeah.
No matter you can cut your head off and give to people. They will still condemn you for giving them your head.
True,
Say you're a fool.
true.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we are okay. We are. Yesterday I responded to one, but
Mm.
anyway, it's not worth it. We are okay. We know there are lots of people on our platforms who are with, and actually most people who are commenting, like, I don't even know our members. They're just people from different but they're just popping up on a Saturday. All right, just popping up. They're even less qualified than my little sister here. They are insulting us. That's my little sister there. Yeah. She's
Awesome.
also a
I
pharmacist, by the
love
way. She's a
it.
pharmacist.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
my younger sister. She's a pharmacist as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people are
Okay.
talking
We
as
should
if we
really say
don't
bye
know.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank
Good
you very much,
night.
people. We appreciate for coming through, and thank you for being so mature. We have a mature audience. Group. I think we see the way they comment. Please
Yeah.
keep on supporting our work. We value your
Mhm.
participation. May God bless you. We
More
wish you
than
the
you
very
know.
best, and we see you next week on Tuesday. Next week Friday, same time.
Friday.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bye.